What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Anfernee, and recently I made a video checking my credit score on Credit Karma, talking about how to improve that credit score very quickly, and also I made a very quick comment about how that credit score may not be the most accurate that you can get in terms of credit bureaus and you actually viewing your credit score. Now, before I get any comments, I know Credit Karma isn't the exact most accurate form of your credit measurement. What I mean by this is that if I look at my credit score on Credit Karma right now, you can see that it says I have a 776 TransUnion credit score while having a 780 Equifax credit score. Now, this is great and all, but if I go over to Chase, once I check my score using their credit profiling system, it says that I have a 766 credit score, which is about 20 or 30 points less than what Credit Karma was saying I had. So in this video, I want to talk about why exactly that is, because a 30-point differential like this could be the difference between interest rates, which could save you a lot of money in the long run. So I want to talk about why there's such a big difference with these credit reporting agencies and how you can go about getting the most accurate credit score possible without having to pay any money, of course. But before we dive headfirst into it, I want to talk about the importance of the credit score in the first place, because while most of us may know that it's a good thing to have a good credit score, a lot of us don't really understand why that is or what kind of impact it can really have on your wallet if you let your credit score get too low. So for that, I want to use a real world example so that you can see exactly how your credit score impacts your pocket. And to do that, I'm just going to go on this website called bankrate.com, and what it is just a simple loan payment calculator so that you can see what your monthly payment will be for a specific loan at a specific interest rate. So let's say that we have two almost identical people. These two people are both 23 years old. They both make $60,000 a year in before tax income, and they also are looking for the same $10,000 car from a car lot. The only difference between these two people is that one of the 23-year-olds got a credit card when he was 18 years old, has been paying that card off every single month since then, and also has a credit score of 755. While the other 23-year-old, although they still are responsible, they did not get a credit card until they turned 22, so they have a much lower credit history, and therefore their credit score is only at 675. So the only big difference between these two people is their actual credit score. Demographics and everything else we can assume are exactly the same. So if they go into the car dealership looking for the exact same $10,000 car, we can easily calculate what their monthly payments will be based on their credit score. So for this calculator, we're just going to put $10,000 as the principal amount. And for the person that has good credit, from my experience, you can get an interest rate from 2 to 3%, depending on how good your credit is. So let's just assume your interest rate is going to be 3%. And on average, the years for a car loan can be 5 or 6 years. So we're just going to put 5 years for this example. So if we calculate this monthly payment, the person with good credit will have a monthly payment of $179.69. And this is only because they have good credit. And for the second person that has a 675 credit score, I know this all too well from experience as well. And when I was going to buy my first car at 18 and 19 years old, I got an interest rate of 14%. Now, this may seem abnormally high to some people, but to me, a person who didn't know anything about personal finance at the time, I didn't think anything of it, and I just wanted the money that I needed in order to get the car off the lot. So 14% is what I was paying when I was 19 years old, and that monthly payment will be $232.68. So almost a good $50 more per month for this monthly payment when everything else is the exact same, the income, the amount of overall perceived responsibility. But a 23-year-old who just got a credit last year and has a lower credit score will be paying almost $50 more per month, almost $600 more per year, and almost $3,000 more over the lifetime of the loan. And this is just because credit companies perceive you to be more risky and more irresponsible in terms of being a borrower. But now let's go into how these scores are calculated in the first place and why there's a difference among all the credit bureaus. Because you may be going to apply for a loan thinking you have a 750 credit score, and when they actually pull your credit, they may tell you that it's only 710. So obviously knowing how these scores are actually calculated will help you get a better understanding of what your score actually may be. And honestly, it will be a lot easier if every single company and every single reporting agency use the exact same formula in order to calculate your credit score. And because this is a very complicated world, that is just not the case. Every single credit reporting agency uses the same information. However, they may weigh that information differently, meaning that one category may be more significant than the other. And if that category is a bad category, then it may be weighing your credit score down or pushing it up as compared to some other credit reports that you may see. But let me break this down a little bit more. Your credit score overall is made up of 6 factors, and 3 of those factors have a high impact on your credit score. 1 of those factors has a medium impact, and 2 of those factors have a low impact on your actual credit score. So the 3 high impact categories are payment history, credit card usage, and derogatory marks, meaning that if you have a couple of missed payments on your credit report, or if you have a derogatory mark like a bankruptcy, then your credit score will be much lower if you have a bad mark in these categories. Whereas if you're doing poorly in some of the other categories, then it definitely won't be such a high impact on your overall score. The next category that has a medium impact is your credit age, and this basically is the overall average age that you had your credit cards active. So it takes all the accounts that you have open and averages that time length overall and gives you one specific credit age. And then the 2 low impact categories are the total accounts and then also the amount of hard inquiries that you have on your credit report. And as I was saying earlier, different companies weigh these different categories differently. So that means payment history may have a high impact to this specific company than it it does to the overall credit reporting agency. However, what I've seen in my experience is that certain companies take credit card usage into a much higher impact category than it does on your overall credit report. This means that if you have a $5,000 credit limit and you also have already spent $4,000 worth of that credit you have available, certain companies will knock you down a considerable amount, almost 30 to 40 points for having such credit card usage, even though credit reporting agencies like Credit Karma may not knock you down as much. But even still, there is a way to get a fairly accurate credit score for completely free. But now let's actually go in and talk about how to get your real credit score, how to get the credit score that is the most accurate. And in order to do this as accurately as possible, you would have to do what the lenders are doing and actually pull your credit report. But you want to do this in a specific way. You don't want to put a hard pull on your credit report because, as I said, that is a low impact factor of calculating your credit score. What you want to do is you want to do what most pre-approval companies do, and you want to do a soft pull on your credit. By doing a soft pull on your credit, you will be able to get an accurate reading of what your credit score actually is, but also you won't be lowering your credit score in the process. So in order to get a free soft pull on your credit, you can use this site called annualcreditreport.com, and what it allows you to do is it allows you to get one free credit report of your overall credit every single 12 months. And this overall report card from this company takes about 2 weeks to complete because they compile over 25 to 30 different FICO scores, and it gives you everything that's impacting your credit all in one report card. I believe that this is a very valuable resource to use because, for one, it's free, and two, not many people know about it. And if they're just depending on their Credit Karma score to get them a better interest rate, then they will be in for a rude awakening once it is actually time for them to get a loan. And some other websites that you can use to get a free credit report card is credit.com and also extracredit.com. So most of these sites give you a bunch of different credit scores, up to about 28 to 30 different credit scores. But if you want to get any of the free credit report cards that I mentioned in this video, I will put a link in the description below so that you can easily navigate to those websites and then get your free credit report card. So now comes the question of, now that you have 30 different credit reports that you have pulled to you, which one of those credit scores that you have is actually your accurate credit score? And honestly, I can say neither one of them is a perfect number to determine your accurate credit score. And as I said, this is because different companies value different aspects of your credit report differently. But also at the same time, it is not a good use of your time to try to find the exact number of your credit score. And this is because companies tend to group credit scores in different categories so that you qualify for a specific interest rate if you are in a specific group. These groups can work like this. If you have a 650 credit score below, you may not get approved for the loan in the first place. However, if you have a 650 to 700, you may qualify to get approved for a loan, but at a higher interest rate. And also from 700 to 750, you may get approved, but at a slightly lower interest rate. And while anything above 750 will typically get that company's best interest rate available. So if you get 30 different credit scores reported to you and they're all between 720 and 740, then you can pretty comfortably assume that your credit score will fall within that good but not best interest rate range. So if I was in this situation, the best thing that you can do here is take the average of the lowest 5 credit scores reported to you so that you can plan for the worst case scenario if you're applying for a loan. And that way, if you do end up qualifying for a lower interest rate for the company, you will actually be surprising yourself with a lower monthly payment instead of being shocked and breaking your budget with a higher monthly payment. And even if you don't want to go the route of actually ordering your credit report, if you are using 2 apps like Credit Karma and the Chase app that I'm using, I would personally always plan to use the lower credit score because even though one other score may be higher that's reported to you, the company that you're applying to absolutely doesn't have to use that higher credit score. But without it being said, if you think you found any kind of value in this video, then go down and tap that like button for your boy, as it allows videos like this to get on a few more homepages, and it really does help the channel out. And if you made it to the end of this video and you want to make a little bit of money just for watching to the end, then use the link in the description below, where if you sign up to the public app, you will get a free fractional share of a stock just for signing up. And that's a good way to earn a couple dollars even if you don't want to use the app. However, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one, guys.